By August 1939, Adolf Hitler had been German Chancellor for 6 years. Under the Führer's iron hand, the empire had expanded its territory in Europe, with Poland the next target.
Hitler had a social Darwinist view of the world and of humanity, believed that humanity was split into so-called inferior and superior races, the most superior being, in his eyes, of course, the Germans, the most inferior being the Jews, but nevertheless only slightly above them were the Eastern Slavs, including the Poles. It deeply affronted Hitler that Poles were allowed to, as he saw it, multiply on Germany's borders. And so he resolved to conquer Poland, not just conquer it, but to enslave and decimate its so-called subhuman population.
German newspapers were filled with stories of Polish atrocities against ethnic Germans living in Poland. They blamed the British government for inflaming violence when they pledged to defend Poland if the Germans invaded. The Nazis plotted to fool the German people and neutral countries into believing war was an unavoidable and moral response to Polish hostility.
In order to justify the invasion of Poland to the German people, Hitler ordered a series of false flag operations to take place. These false flag operations took place along the Polish-German border. They were organized by the Abwehr, the German military intelligence service under Admiral Wilhelm Canaris, and also by the Reich Security Service under Reinhard Heydrich. The purpose of these false flag operations was to show to the German people, or to depict to the German people, the idea that it was Poles attacking Germans and that Germany was only attacking Poland because it had been provoked to do so.
The plan, Operation Himmler, involved numerous false flag attacks designed to simulate Polish strikes against German targets.
The Gleiwitz incident was another of these false flag operations. It did not lead to as great a loss of life, but it's perhaps emblematic of the rather farcical, amateurish nature of these false flag operations, but nevertheless the tragic consequences that they went on to have.
On August 31st, 1939, German SS officers, garbed in Polish uniforms, approached a transmission tower in Gleiwitz, a German town near the border with Poland. The Gleiwitz radio station was critical to circulating pro-German sentiment. According to testimony made by their leader, SS Sturmbannführer Alfred Naujoks, at the Nuremberg trials, the small group had just received a coded message via radio. Großmutter gestorben, meaning grandmother dead. Naujoks bolted up the steps and into the station office, pushing past German staff. Another officer seized a microphone and delivered a short, anti-German message in Polish. The precise wording of the statement is unknown, but it was made to seem like the work of Polish saboteurs.
To add a touch of authenticity to the proceedings, it was arranged for a Polish-speaking German citizen who was also a pro-Polish agitator to be taken to the police headquarters in Gleiwitz, drugged, shot, and then his body dumped at the back of the building as purported evidence that this was the work of the Poles.
According to testimony by another German official, Erwin von Lahusen, prisoners from Dachau concentration camp were left at the site as false accomplices. Referred to as Konserve or canned goods by the Germans, their faces were disfigured to make identification impossible. Within hours, German radio reported the incident as an anti-German attack by Polish soldiers. Foreign correspondents were brought to the scene and the events were mentioned in international press. But any scrutiny of the attack was quickly eclipsed by the German advance the following morning. At 4:45 a.m. on September 1st, 1939, the invasion of Poland began. In a speech made at the Reichstag, Hitler announced the news of an offense as a justified retaliation to Polish attacks on German territory, including the attack on the Gleiwitz station.